What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and this is episode 13 of building a $20 sneaker collection. No way. Yo, what? These were just under the table. Thanks so much for tuning in today. If this is your first time watching this series, I definitely recommend starting from the beginning of the series by clicking the link at the top of the screen or in the description below. Or if you'd rather just start the series here, that's totally fine too. To give you guys an idea of how this series works, we started off with just a $20 bill and we're slowly buying and trading our way up to a pair of Nike mags worth around $15,000. And the way we've been building towards that goal so far is that we've been going to thrift stores, buying sneakers for mad cheap, and then cleaning them up and selling them for as much money possible. But this week we are changing things up a little bit because this week we're actually going to THRIFTCON Philadelphia, which apparently is just this giant convention full of thrifted stuff, which I'm actually surprised I haven't heard about before. And my personal goal for THRIFTCON is to find some sneakers, both new and old, that I can find for great deals and hopefully resell or even just add to the collection, which I guess is kind of the goal for the entire series. But we're definitely spending money today and I'm gonna try and buy as many sneakers as I possibly can. Not only that, but we also ended up selling some sneakers over the weekend, which means we can add some money to the sneaker collection fund. At the end of the last episode, our sneaker collection fund was sitting at $573.09. Actually, let me rephrase that. We sold one pair of sneakers, even though we technically sold two, because after selling the first pair, I got this message from the person who bought it on eBay telling me that this shoe is too expensive and they won't be paying for it. Which is funny because they sent me the offer for these Pumas. So what did they think they were gonna pay? I don't know, this just happens a lot, and I guess it's just sort of the problems that you run into when you sell sneakers on eBay. But the pair of sneakers that we did end up selling and shipping and getting paid for was a pair of Nike React Prestos. So this was a pair of sneakers that we picked up from Plato's closet a couple weeks ago for just 20 bucks. And surprisingly, we were able to flip these sneakers on eBay for 68 bucks. So after fees and shipping, we were able to add $58.34 back into the sneaker collection fund, which means that we now have $631.43 in the sneaker collection fund to start off this week's episode. So at this point, let's go spend some money. So in my opinion, the best way to start off a week of sneaker hunting is by going to Plato's closet, which has kind of become my go-to at this point. And the good news was they had restocked their shelves, which is always a good thing, and there was a ton of sneakers in stock. Now the first place that I always check is their new sneaker section by the cash register, which has sneakers in boxes and sneakers in really good condition. And the first pair that I found was this pair of Revenge Storms in a size 5, which is a little bit small, and unfortunately it was also priced a little bit high at like $80. The sneaker itself was in alright condition. It was a little bit worn and the box was kind of ripped apart, but honestly, not a bad find. I kind of wish it was in a larger size though. Next up, I found a pair of maybe Jeremy Scott's. I don't know what these are. These are some zebra print Adidas. Then I found a pair of some sort of soccer-inspired shoe. It's not a Mamba Curial. I don't know what it is, honestly. Again, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below, but not something I'm willing to take a risk on just because I don't know anything about it. They did have this pair of Puma RSXs in pretty decent condition and in a women's size, and it was definitely something that I considered, but I ultimately decided against it. So after checking out the newer sneaker section, I decided to go through the regular aisles, and the first pair that I found was this pair of Real Tree Crocs, which my friend Osman swears by. He loves them. I just don't really like the design, but in pretty decent condition, just not sure if they'd really move. Next, I found this pair of Eagles Converses, or I think off-brand Converses, not something that I need. I was then surprised to find a pair of D-Rups. I guess not really that surprised because D-Rups kind of suck. It's like the Spider-Man shoe, the fishnet shoe. I don't understand how Adidas decided to sell this sneaker. Not something that I would ever personally rock, and not surprised to see it here. It might sound dumb and obvious to say, but you always want to check the women's section as well as the men's section because you never know what you're going to find. I came across this pair of women's ACG Nikes. I have no idea what these are. Make sure to let me know in the comment section down below, but I really like the colorway and I actually kind of dig the sneaker. I did actually end up finding this pair of Air Jordan 12s in a smaller size. I'm not exactly sure what size it was, but it was an all red, and it was in pretty decent condition, honestly. I made sure to check the listings on eBay, and unfortunately, the price that it was going for was exactly what it was going for on eBay, which, I mean, it happens sometimes. Plato sometimes gets the pricing exactly right. Sometimes they grossly underprice. You never know for sure. That's why I always check the price on the eBay app before I buy a pair of sneakers if I can, if it's not like a very quick situation, because it allows me to find out whether these sneakers really have any potential for profit. For example, I checked on this pair of checkerboard Vans, which is a rarer pair of Vans. However, it wasn't going for anything on eBay, at least not for more than what it was going for here, so not a pair of sneakers that I decided to pick up, although I do think it's a nice looking pair of shoes. Next up, I found this pair of LeBron 12s in this Iron Man style colorway. Now, I couldn't actually find the SKU number on eBay for some reason, which makes me think that it's not either a very common pair of sneakers or maybe it's an ID or something like that, but I'm not totally sure, and I wasn't really willing to take the risk because it was priced at 50 bucks. Okay, as you saw, the first stop of the week, of course, was Plato's, because where else would I go on the first day of the week? I mean, you guys saw it. It wasn't incredible. Like, there were some LeBrons, there were some Revenge Storms, which I was actually really interested in, but then I looked up the eBay comparable listings, and they were selling for about $80 on eBay, which is what they were going for in stores, so not worth it, plus the size was like, eh. The one pair I was really considering were those LeBrons. Now, I could not find them on eBay. I looked up their SKU number, I looked up everything, I couldn't find them. And I'm wondering if maybe they're LeBron IDs. I'm not 100% sure. I'd love to know if you guys could let me know in the comment section down below. They were, I think, selling for $50. And you know what? I kept mulling it over and mulling it over. It was in good condition. Like, it was a pair that I thought the colorway was actually really clean, but I just couldn't find any pairs on eBay. And I just don't know if LeBron 12s are that popular at the moment. So 50 is a lot to spend on something that's more of a gamble than anything else. So let me know in the comment section down below if you think I made a mistake, but I feel like I didn't, and I'm just ready to move on to the next spot. So next up, I stopped at Goodwill. One, because it's right next to Plato's, and I have to stop by every time I go to Plato's. And two, because even though I haven't found a lot in the last couple weeks, you never know when you're going to find that one thing to make it all worth it. So even though it kind of feels like a wasted couple minutes every time I go, at least recently, it's definitely worth it, because one day I might find that one crazy pair of sneakers, like a pair of Yeezys, a pair of Jordans that are worth something. You never know. And I mean, honestly, through the last couple episodes, we've found some great sneakers. We've found some retro Jordans that are decent. They didn't sell for a whole lot, but we made profit on them nonetheless. I mean, even for example, here we're finding Air Maxes. They're not worth a lot, but I could sell them if I needed to. Also, it's kind of a bummer because this is a Goodwill that I find the least. There are a couple other Goodwills in the city that are significantly better, and I just don't go to them as much because they're a little bit farther away. So I really need to start just branching out, going to a lot more stores in Center City, and hopefully we'll start finding more stuff on a regular basis. There was, however, one shoe that I found that was kind of cool, and that was this pair of Air Max 90s in a toddler size. Now, it was priced at $2.50, which wasn't bad, but honestly, I didn't think it was worth the time that it would take to list it, so I decided to leave it. So unfortunately, we didn't find anything at Goodwill. I didn't expect to. I haven't found anything at Goodwill in a minute. There were a couple kid shoes that I thought were decent, like the pair of Air Maxes for like $2.49. I honestly probably should have grabbed those, but I didn't. It would have been a lot more effort than I think they were worth. But now I'm gonna head to Lowe's. I've been going there constantly, and I think I'm actually gonna try and grab some overhead lighting for the studio. So not gonna show you guys that, but that's what I'm doing. So this week we had kind of a cool opportunity because THRIFTCON was in Philly, which apparently is a convention for thrifted items, similar to SneakerCon, except less sneakers and more clothing and like vintage stuff that you find at Goodwill's and Plato's, and pretty much exactly what we're doing except for clothing and really anything cool and vintage. In fact, there was a lot of records, which I'm not really into, but it was cool to see them. A lot of cool Eagles gear, which again, not really into. If they had more Raven stuff, I would have spent a lot more money. And then of course you had some Space Jam VHSs, because why not? And I was honestly really surprised by the turnout. Like I said, I had never been to a THRIFTCON before, and people were just going crazy. They were rifling through all the clothes, finding apparently a lot of cool stuff. Now, I'm not gonna lie, at the beginning of the event, I was a little dismayed because I didn't find any shoes, but if you dug a little bit deeper, you could find a couple booths that were selling sneakers. Now, this booth here that I'm showing you guys, unfortunately, was primarily just selling new sneakers, and they were selling them for resale prices, so it wasn't a booth that I really wanted to spend any money at, although they did have a nice, well, decent selection of sneakers. No hate, but like, it wasn't the best selection in the world, but definitely some decent women's shoes. I was also legitimately surprised by the size of some of these booths. I mean, at some points it felt like I was walking through actual thrift stores. Now, unfortunately, all of the sneaker exclusive booths there were primarily resale booths, meaning all the sneakers there were priced at resale, no deals to be found, and unfortunately, I did try and haggle with a couple people at some of these booths, but nothing was really happening. They knew what they had, and if they didn't sell it here, they could sell it on StockX. I mean, I get it. Why would you take less when you could sell it for a better price somewhere else?
How much do you have on these? I mean, I just like them. I like Kobe's.
250. I seen them go for 4.
I was really bummed about those Kobe's. They were priced at $12 on the sticker on the bottom of the shoe, but it just wasn't meant to be.
Jersey City. A little further down, like Asbury Park. 1 second. Yeah, no worries, bro.
How much you guys got in the Tiffs?
Tiffany's are $750, I believe.
$750, gotcha.
8.
Okay. Okay. How about the unions? 8.5. Okay.
420.
Gotcha. Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
So this was actually the first time that I saw a pair of Travis Scott lows in person, and they look they look good. I also like this pair of Dunks, which is a little bit more in my price range because as you guys know, I only had like 500, 600 bucks in the sneaker fund. Unfortunately, they were priced above StockX and just not worth it. The booths where I felt like I had the most luck were booths that had mainly clothing but also had some sneakers. For example, this booth, which had some really nice Aqua 8s in kids sizes and some decent Iversons. Unfortunately, they were priced a little bit high, not crazy resale prices, but a little bit higher than I was willing to pay. At another booth, I actually found a pair of off-white Terra Kiger 5s that had been worn very, very lightly, but were in pretty decent condition. Unfortunately, the price was higher than I wanted to pay. I did find this pair of AF1s at the same booth, but unfortunately, same deal. Priced a little bit too high for me, even though it's a nice looking pair of sneakers, and I actually really dig the colorway. One sneaker that I found that was kind of hidden underneath a rack of clothing was this pair of shoes that looked a lot like a pair of Nike Airships. Now, I don't think this is actually a pair of Nike Airships. I'm not sure what these are, so make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Also, let me know if I missed out, if I should have grabbed these, because I feel like those shoes I could have gotten for a pretty decent price. Maybe I should have grabbed them. I don't know. I'm kicking myself now. So as you guys all saw, we missed out on the first pair of Kobe's that we found, but we did happen to find another pair, a Kobe 9 Elite in a Youth 6.5, which was kind of incredible. I asked the guy what he wanted for these because it was a booth with clothing and hats, and it felt like he didn't really care as much about the sneakers. And the craziest thing is that he told me he'd sell them to me for 20 bucks. I didn't even have to haggle, and I was like, bet, you got it, handed him 20 and walked away with them. And they were in pretty decent condition. In fact, I didn't really have to even clean them up, which is kind of crazy, so I'm super stoked on this pickup. I honestly wouldn't have expected to find a pair of Kobe's in a Lakers colorway at THRIFTCON for 20 bucks. Really stoked on that pickup. So after haggling with as many people as I could at the booths, I decided to go over to the trading floor because I thought I might have a better shot at haggling with people over there. And the first pair of sneakers that I found were this pair of Panda Pigeons, which I was super surprised to find, as well as these Stussies, which again, very surprised to find. Now unfortunately, these shoes are shoes that people know exactly what they have and they price them accordingly.
So how much you want on the Cool Grace? 350. That's not bad. Okay. And what about the Amy Leon Dore New Balances? Oh, shoot. Okay. I'll take him for 3. I'll do 3.
So after picking up that pair of New Balance 550 ALDs for like $100 under what they're going for, I decided to go back to the booths and try my luck once again. There was actually a part of the convention that I hadn't been to yet, and I found some more booths that had some pretty decent used sneakers. Now, unfortunately, again, at most of the booths, people knew what they had, and the sneakers were priced at resale prices. Like, if you go on GOAT, you look at the used price of sneakers, that's what these sneakers were going for, although the selection was pretty decent. I did actually find a pair of Dunks kind of hidden under a table at one of the bigger booths, and I thought, wow, this shoe might actually have some serious value. I don't know exactly what Dunk it is, but it's in okay condition, and it's under a table, so it must be priced pretty decently, right? Like, if it's an expensive shoe, I would assume that they have it at the top of the table. So I decided to check out the SKU on eBay and found out that it was reselling for like $280, $300, so I decided to try and grab it.
How much did you guys want for these?
I would have to double check.
Okay.
Let me take a picture of them. One
Okay.
sec. This is 300.
Oh, 300.
On the bottom. There
Oh,
you go.
gotcha. Okay, thank you.
So obviously that didn't work out, and at this point we had kind of exhausted all the different booths that were at THRIFTCON, so we decided to dip, although it was a great experience and there was some pretty great pickups. So rounding off the week, I decided to sandwich THRIFTCON between two different Plato's Closet trips, and I'm so glad that I did because I found some pretty incredible sneakers today. Now the first place that I always stop, like I said, was a place that has the new sneakers and the box sneakers, and surprisingly, they didn't really have anything new. And the shelves were actually pretty empty, which makes it even more surprising that I found so many good sneakers. The first pair that I found was this pair of Tinker Air Jordan 10s in pretty incredible condition, and they were priced at just 60 bucks. It looked like they had only been worn once, and this is actually a pair of sneakers that I found at Plato's before, just in a different part of the store, and I'm wondering if maybe they had put it in the back of the store and then brought it back out later on. Not exactly sure what happened with it, but it was an easy pickup because it was in such great condition. I also found the pair of 11s that we had found last week still sitting there, no surprise because it was falling apart, and then I found a pair of what seemed to be brand new Team Jordans, like legitimately brand new, never had been worn, maybe tried on because the laces were a little bit messy and the size sticker in the left shoe was a little bit dirty, but other than that, I mean, it was in brand new condition. I was really blown away, and they were priced at just 30 bucks. So in my opinion, an easy pickup, no questions asked, definitely grabbing it because it should be a relatively easy flip. Next up was a pair of LeBron lows, priced weirdly high at 60 bucks for the condition they were in. Nice looking pair of sneakers, worn a little bit, there was definitely some heel drag, and I just don't see these LeBrons, especially not the low top version of these LeBrons, really moving. So although it was a nice looking pair of sneakers, the price was too high and it just wasn't worth it for me. And then the last pair that we found was this pretty much brand new pair of AF1 SF highs, I think that's what they're called, in this black and Volt colorway. This is a pair of shoes that when it first came out would have resold, I'm pretty sure, but now, you know, a couple years later, the value is pretty much all gone and they're priced at 60 bucks, which I feel like is too high for what they are. So rather than ending off this video the way that I usually do, I decided to change up the format just a little bit because we ended up picking up a lot of different pairs of sneakers at the last two places that we went. So I kind of wanted to give you guys a closer look at some of the sneakers that we picked up and also some of the other sneakers that we still have in stock and get some feedback from you guys and really figure out what I'm going to do with some of these shoes, whether I'm going to sell them, whether I'm going to keep them, or whether I'm going to trade them. So I guess to get started, why don't we start things off with the first pair that we picked up from THRIFTCON, which is this pair of Kobe 9 Elites in a size 7Y. So I was really surprised to find this pair of sneakers because Kobe's are really hot right now, obviously. Also, it's in the Lakers colorway, which is an even more popular colorway. And the fact that we were able to find it for just 20 bucks was kind of insane. Now, unfortunately, there are a couple small downsides about this sneaker, and the first is that the wear and tear on this shoe, while it's not bad, it's the kind of wear and tear that's very difficult to get off. It definitely looks like it's been balled in, and usually when you play ball in a sneaker, the scuffs that you get are a lot harder to take off than just like dirt scuffs, you know? So it's gonna be a little bit harder for me to clean up. I don't think it needs like a lot of cleaning, but if I wanna make it look perfect, I might have to spend some time on it. And the other thing that kind of sucks about this shoe is that it's a size 7Y. So a 7Y is a 7 youth, which means it's a pretty small size, and unfortunately, there just isn't a lot of demand for this shoe in that size. On eBay, I think there was only 2 other listings of this shoe, and they were selling for like 40 to 80 bucks. So it doesn't look like there's a huge potential for profit, but to be honest, the fact that I found any Kobe's at THRIFTCON, let alone a Kobe that I actually really like, means that I'm more willing to sit on this sneaker for a while. So I'm gonna list it like probably around 70 or 80 bucks. And just sit on it, because if this shoe was in my size, 100% I would have added it to the collection, no question, but unfortunately it's not. This is a shoe that I'm probably going to end up selling. I might try and trade it on Tradeblock. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comment section down below if you guys are. Otherwise, I'll just have it listed on eBay. Of course, there's a link to that in the description below, but really nice pickup. I just wish it was my size. Speaking of shoes that are in my size, we've got the ALD New Balance 550s in a size 9, brand new. This is actually a shoe that I just picked up, I don't know, how long ago was it? Maybe like a month ago, a couple months ago? Actually from Tradeblock. And the fact that they had this at THRIFTCON DS was kind of crazy because this is the best colorway of the ALDs, in my own personal opinion. The green and sort of aged colorway. I think it's a really clean looking sneaker. And like I said, it's DS. Now this is a shoe that I 100% am going to add to the collection. However, I am open to trades. I am honestly looking for trades that are more in my favor. That's sort of what you have to do when you're doing like a trade up challenge. But also, this is like such a great sneaker. This is a shoe that I really love personally. I have my own personal pair of this shoe. I have like 3 colorways of this particular silhouette. So being able to add this to the collection is pretty cool. And especially the fact that we were able to buy it with money that we made off buying and selling cheaper sneakers makes it even more special. So I'm not mad if I keep this sneaker, but if someone can give me a really great offer on Tradeblock, I'll take it. And I know some of you watching this video might be saying $300 is just an insane amount to spend on a pair of New Balances, but to be fair, this is probably the most popular 550 colorway, one of the most popular 550 colorways. It's currently selling on StockX. The highest bid, I think, is $360, so already 60 bucks more than we paid for it, and I think the lowest ask is like $390 at the time we're recording this video. So this is a shoe that I think will continue to go up in value, and I don't mind sitting on it because I like this shoe so much. So I didn't make an insane profit off of it. Like if I sold it, I'd probably only get like an extra 40 bucks, but that's more than we make off most of the sneakers that we sell, and it's a pair of shoes that would be easy to sell because it's brand new. So there's a lot of good things about this sneaker, not only just that I love this shoe, and I think it was a great pickup and at a pretty decent price. Maybe I should have haggled for more, but I don't think he was going to haggle just because he wasn't haggling in the other sneakers. So it is what it is, but love this sneaker, super stoked on this pickup. Actually, speaking of sneakers in the collection that I am willing to trade, this is the only other sneaker in the collection currently. This is the Ben Simmons Blazer Mid, I believe in a size 9 or 9.5. I think it's a size 9. I actually have this listed on Tradeblock if you guys would like to trade me for this sneaker. Now this shoe is used, but very, very lightly, and it's another sneaker that I'm happy to sit on. I got it for 40, 50 bucks. I think from Plato's Closet. And I'm fine with that. I'll sit on the sneaker forever. So if you guys want to trade for this, you can. Again, looking for offers that are in my favor because honestly, not mad at keeping this shoe. So as far as some of the other pickups from today, we've got the brand new Team Jordans from Plato's Closet. I bought these for $30 and they're completely brand new. Unfortunately, no box, but brand new unworn, which is crazy. On eBay, I think I have these listed for around 100. I'm willing to take offers lower, but I think honestly, because they're brand new, it should be an easy flip. So I'm not going to take offers less than like 70 or 80. It's just not worth it. Oh, actually, I'm forgetting like a really major detail. So this shoe and the next shoe I'm about to show you guys were both on sale 15% off because it was Labor Day and Plato's Closet was having a 15% off everything deal. So I got these for 25 something. I don't remember the exact amount. I know the total that I spent, but I don't remember the exact amount on these. It was 25 and like 43 cents or something like that. But I got these for $5 less than they were listed, which is insane. So honestly, even more of a no-brainer. So the next shoe and the last shoe from today's pickup was another shoe that I picked up from Plato's, got 15% off of, and that was these, the Air Jordan 10 Tinkers, which is a shoe, like I said earlier on in the video, that I'm pretty sure I've seen before at that Plato's. I'm not sure if maybe they put it in the back and saved it for the Labor Day sale. I'm not sure exactly what they were doing with that, but regardless, it's in immaculate condition. There's still the size sticker on the inside of the shoe, worn maybe once or twice, very light creasing, and I think it was priced at 60 bucks. So after the 15% discount, it was less than that. I don't remember the exact amount. Really, really insane price for a decent pair of sneakers. Unfortunately, no box. I've had this listed on eBay for I think around 110, and I've gotten like 4 questions of does it come with a box, even though in the description it says it does not. But that seems to be the main sticking point with this shoe. But really great condition, size 11, and for 60 bucks it was a no-brainer. Actually less than 60 bucks. Oh, actually, before I forget, I should tell you guys what the sneaker collection fund is at. So currently, after spending $320 at THRIFTCON and $76.50 at Plato's Closet because of that awesome 15% discount, the sneaker collection fund now sits at $234.93. Which is definitely lower than I would like, but at the same time, we've got a ton of different product to sell, and I think a lot of it will move pretty quickly, so that's not too bad. Of course, we do also have some other sneakers still in the collection that have not sold. This pair of Puma collabs, which, well, they sold, and then the person didn't pay for them, so now I've just relisted them, which are actually really nice. If they're my size, I might keep them. I think they're a size 10, though, so I can't rock them. Really nice looking pair of shoes. Again, brand new. Can't get much better than that. I think I spent 40 bucks on them. We've also got the Air Jordan 11 closing ceremonies that I think are a size 6.5Y in pretty decent condition. There is some yellowing on the straps, but the midsole cleaned up really nice. The outsole is definitely yellowed, not much you can do about that, but otherwise in nice condition. I think I grabbed these for 35 bucks last week from Buffalo Exchange. This was the same video where I found the Yeezys at Buffalo Exchange and couldn't grab them. This is the pair that I actually did pick up. I think I have it listed for around 60 or 70, which might be a little bit high, but I'm willing to take offers on them. And then the last pair that we still have in the collection is the John Elliott's, which I finally got around to cleaning the other shoe and listing it. So these are finally up. These are a size 11. I bought these for 20 and I have them listed for like 60, 70 maybe. I love this shoe so much because I love how clear it is in the upper, and it's really great for showing off new Apothecary socks whenever we have drops. So yeah, great sock promotion shoe. And so for a sock business owner, this shoe is like a dream for me, but unfortunately, not my size. But that is pretty much everything in the collection that I can remember. There might be something that I'm forgetting, but I don't think that there is. I would love to know your thoughts on this series so far and what you think we could improve moving forward. So make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Once again, if you would like to buy any of the sneakers that I just mentioned, or maybe trade with me for some of the sneakers that I just mentioned, make sure to check out my eBay and my Tradeblock, which are linked in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.